Hello and welcome back. I hope that you're well. Today I have a little sketchbook session and chat for you, so feel free to grab your favourite sketchbook, some loose sheets of paper, your drawing tablet, whatever you like to draw on or with, and draw along with me today. If you do draw along, you're welcome to post it with the hashtag #DrawWithMeDana in the description so that I can check out what you've done. And today I'm going to be using my Uni Pin black brush pen and an Ecoline watercolour brush pen. And I couldn't decide between pastel red and apricot, so I rolled a d4 on it, with odd being apricot and even being pastel red. And sometimes this can just be a fun thing to do, but it can also really help if you're paralysed by choice, just to get the job done so that you can get to drawing. And yeah, I got an odd number, so we're going with apricot. And I'm going to be using the Ecoline brush pen instead of pencil today to do an undersketch. I love drawing in pencil, I love sketching in pencil, but sometimes I want something a little bit different, and different materials require different approaches. In this case, I'm using two permanent materials, and when you're working with permanent materials you can't erase, it requires you to think a little bit differently, so have a different approach when you're sketching. And I have a cup of tea with me while I was sketching. And yeah, it's a nice cross between that permanency but also being able to do an undersketch at the same time. It's one reason why I also really like ballpoint pen. You can go in really lightly and then build up to the darker values. It can be nice to draw straight in black sometimes, but today I wanted that sort of cross between the two. And today I am drawing and I'm studying some different birds from reference. I want to improve my observational skills and also study different forms and different kinds of birds. So I'm drawing from a Pinterest board that I have of different birds, and then I'm also using some of my own reference and also reference packs that I bought online. I love drawing animals. They're one of my interests and also one of the things that I just enjoy drawing. Nature in general really inspires me, and animals falls under that for me. I love animals and plants and environments as well. And I wanted to draw a few different kinds of birds today. There's a few very, very interesting ones, like the one I'm currently doing I think is a cassowary. And then there's also a vulture that looks a lot like a parrot that I found very interesting. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to chat about today. I do want to chat a little bit about me more in these, so you can get to know me a little bit better. Since we're talking about interests, actually, one of my interests in art is video games. One of the things that really inspires me can be different video games, especially fantasy games and also JRPG and RPG games in general. All really inspire me in my art. And one of the games I play is Final Fantasy XIV. And today, the new Savage Tier was released for Final Fantasy XIV. And while I was sketching this morning, I was watching the World Race. And the World Race is still going at the moment. While I was sketching these, they were on the first fight. And they're currently, while I'm doing this recording, still on the second fight. The second fight hasn't been downed yet. And there's 4 fights each tier for people that don't know about the game. I main healer in the game. I play barrier healer mainly, though I do love the 2 regen healers as well. And I tend to main scholar in savages and ultimates. I do love sage as well, but scholar's my baby. and I'll be joining the Savage release with my static tonight. So we'll be going for the first fight tonight. And yeah, Final Fantasy XIV has been a big inspiration for me in recent years. I have 3 of the different art books for the game. And Savage and Ultimate's only like a very small element of the game. The game has so much to do. It's an MMO, it's got loads of different things to do. But the main element of it is that the RPG storyline, the main storyline, has been praised more and more and more over the years for its storytelling, for good reason. But there's a lot of just design elements that I really like in the game as well. So I have the first Shadowbringers art book. I'm just looking at my art book shelf while I'm talking. I have the Art of Reflection, History's Forsaken, which is the first Shadowbringers book. And then my boyfriend got me the 2 Stormblood books, Art of the Revolution, Western Memories, and then the other one's Eastern Memories. And those contain, they're nice thick books, they're massive as well, they're like, I think they're bigger than A4. And they have all the different designs for the different characters in the game, the different costumes, creatures, bosses, but then also like the environments for the world, the dungeons, the raids, and the gear and everything. There's so many different things to look at, just how they design them and everything. And one of the things I love seeing in art books in general is the very early stages, like the sketching stage, the storyboarding stage, and things like that. And you get some of that in these. You also have a little section at the back of them where there's little messages from the art team as well, which is a really nice touch. I do love getting art books. I try to be very selective because I know I would end up having a library of them if I'm not careful. I'm definitely a little bit of a bookaholic, so I try to be careful with that. So yeah, video games, narrative-driven stuff, so like books, comics, and things like that are also big inspirations for me as well. I have art books from a few different things, also art books from other artists as well. And I might go through those at some point if it'd be something that people are interested in. I have a bunch of art books as well on a different shelf that are for studying, which I keep separate. And yeah, if that'd be something you're interested in, just let me know. I love watching videos of artists going through their book collections, and their sketchbook collections as well. So I might do that at some point. But let me know what you are what inspires you in your art practice in the description, or if you just enjoy watching art but you don't really draw yourself, like what kinds of art do you like watching? And yeah, it's always interesting to see different personalities, different interests. The world's such a vast and wonderful and beautiful place, and there's so much variety in it. It's wonderful just seeing people get excited about different things, and just how, yeah, it's important to celebrate how different we all can be. I know that for some people they might not want to draw the birds I'm drawing today, but I had a lot of fun with them. And you might see at certain points in the video me stretch my hands, and it looks a little bit weird while it's sped up, but it's important to do to remain healthy while you're sketching, especially if you're wanting to sketch for long periods, or if you are wanting to sketch for an extended period of time of your life as well. Like, you want to make sure that you're constantly looking after yourself. If you're doing a longer session, then I'd certainly stand up and do a full body stretch every so often. And yeah, you gotta look after yourself while drawing. And for the final sketch today, it's the vulture that looks like a parrot, which I find really fascinating. There was so many like wrinkles on it as well. It has like the coloration of a parrot, but there were bold sections and wrinkly almost skin. It was just really interesting as like from a form studies approach. And like above its beak it had like these orange growths. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this spread today, and I hope that it'll help me have a little bit more variety in my bird designs sometimes. And I'll show you up close how they look. I did also do this sketch session today in order to prepare for Inktober, because I'm planning on doing Inktober with either just this brush pen or this brush pen and a thin micron fine liner. I'm not sure if I'll use the Ecoline brush pen for that yet. I'm probably just going to use pencil underneath, but we'll see. But the inking's going to be done with either just the brush pen or a brush pen and micron. So I'm wanting to prep for that a little bit. So I hope that you enjoyed this little sketchbook session today, and I will see you for the next video. Happy drawing!